Hey guys, so I just wanted to take a minute to talk about something that came up, I think, in a comment for one of my videos, which is somebody had commented something to the effect of, sorry, chickens are going crazy back there. I want to get started homesteading, or have a land or something like that, but the problem is money for me right now, which I totally get. I've been there. I can resonate with for sure. But one thing that I would say is there are a ton of free resources that you can use without having to spend money. You might have to spend a little bit of gas, you might have to put some elbow grease into things, but there's a lot that you can do without spending your own money. And one of those things, and this is an example of something that I did with the homestead or the animals exactly because I spent money to create some infrastructure for them. But right here, and it's not perfect, it's not the most beautiful, I need to do a little bit of extra work, but I've got tons of rocks lining the house up through here, and I need to add some more up there, but it looks pretty decent. And all of those rocks came from out here in the woods somewhere. There's a few different piles of rocks where I think I've said several times before, this used to be a farm dump. So there's trash and stuff stacked up different places, but they're also big piles of rocks just like buried in with the trash or on top of trash or on top of old glass and stuff like that. So I'll take those rocks and use them for things like that, and I'll probably add to it. Another thing I would say is if your property has wood, right, one, you have wood to burn to use to heat your house and other things, but my property in particular has a lot of, sorry for the goose, I'm trying to find an example, tulip poplar. I think those are some tulip poplar leaves there and a tulip poplar tree. But the nice thing about tulip poplar in particular is it is a tree that it's considered a hardwood, but it's not like the hardest hardwood, and it grows really fast and it tends to grow really straight. So you'll end up with, over a very short period of time, trees that you can cut down and use for, various different things around the homestead. I haven't done this yet, but I have cut down trees in preparation for doing something with them and letting them start to dry out. But you can see most all of these trees here are tulip poplars, and they tend to grow so straight and tall, like we're talking like, I want to say like a few feet a year. I could be wrong, but I think like 3 or 4 feet a year, something like that maybe. I don't know, somebody fact check me and tell me I'm wrong in the comments or something. But the point is, I can come out here, and obviously I don't need all of these trees. Not all of these are going to survive. And I can come out here and cut down something like this that can be used for fencing. It can be used for maybe a chicken coop or a chicken run or something like that. I mean, I am a little under, I'm on my tippy toes a little bit because I don't have like shoes on, I got flip-flops, but I mean, this is probably about 6 feet here, so I've got a good 12 or 18 feet of, fairly solid tree that's not going to be too flimsy as it narrows there toward the top, that I can use for something like that. And I mean, these trees are everywhere back here, so that's just another example of a resource that I can use here for myself in order to build things. I bought a raised garden bed. I bought 2 Vivore, like metal, 12-inch high raised garden beds. I could have just taken, what, 6 or 8 of those and turned it into a 12-inch raised garden bed. Now, the raised garden bed might not last me 10 or 15 years, right? Like, it's going to rot. It is wood. But if I'm getting started and I want to get started, but I don't have money, that's definitely something that I could do and get started with. Maybe I'm gonna have to spend a little money, but it'll be a minimal amount of money. instead of, granted, I mean, these raised garden beds were a really good price. They were like, I think like $42 or $43 a piece, something like that, maybe $38. But so there is, I mean, there's good price stuff out there if you're looking for it and you know what to look for. But the point is, I could have went and bought a box of screws and thrown something together that would have met the same need that this is meeting, and I would have spent 15 or 20 bucks on building something like that. And honestly, instead of going and buying something like that, you could probably build something out of not the greatest lumber, maybe not the lumber that's going to last the longest, but just lumber instead of something metal that I'm hoping will actually last a good while. So the point is, just use your resources. Another great thing, right? Facebook Marketplace. There's free stuff on Facebook Marketplace constantly. There's free pallets on Facebook Marketplace constantly. I don't know if you can see, but I have pallets right over here somewhere. You probably can't see them, but I was using these specific pallets for a compost pile for a while. So instead of building something, I said, you know what, it's a proof of concept. I'm gonna go into it spending as little as possible. And oh, you know what, these weren't marketplaces, these were my neighbor. But he said, hey, do you have a need for pallets? I said, yes. He brought them over, and those were my compost pile for a while. So they're stacked up now, but they were over here, and was throwing fruit and leaves and all kinds of stuff in there for the longest time. And so the point is, there's lots of free stuff, neighbors, networking, talking to people. Hey, I've got something I'm trying to get rid of. My friend has something they're trying to get rid of. Is there anybody that's, you know, looking for this? Be on the lookout for those things. Be ready to be a little, oh man, what's the word? A little, I don't know if scrappy's the right word. Maybe it's the right word. But if you find something that you can put a little bit of work in and go get, instead of having to spend money, go for it. I just got a mattress that was lightly used from a friend of a friend, and all it cost me was 30 minutes of time to go pick up a new mattress. And luckily my wife had recently been wanting a new mattress because our mattress was hurting her back. And, you know, I was, I guess, right place, right time, or knew the right people, and the opportunity came up to be able to go pick it up. And instead of spending $2,000 or $3,000 on a new mattress, I paid $0 for a new mattress and spent about $4 in gas. So the point is, you can do something, right? You might not be able to go get pigs tomorrow. You might not have the money and the resources and the infrastructure to get started with that. And honestly, even with some of these free resources, maybe you can. Maybe you find fencing for free, or an energizer for free, or things like that. But you can get started somewhere and do something. You got chickens, you got rabbits, you got ducks. A lot of these things, a lot of these animals you can build things for without a ton of effort and be able to at least get started. So anyway, I went like 1,000 different directions with that. So I'm sorry for the roller coaster, guys, but that's it. I'm gonna stop rambling, and I'll see you all next time.